Hi, and welcome to another episode of The Flavorful Gourmet. Today we are going to make curry beef. So let's get started. So we're going to start with a large stock pot. Let's go ahead and turn our pot to high heat. We're going to add about 3 tablespoons of oil. To that oil, we're going to add about 3 tablespoons of sugar as well. Okay, as this heats up, our sugar will start to burn and caramelize, and we just want to let it cook until it gets a nice dark brown color. This will take about 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, so while we're waiting on our sugar to burn, I'll just go ahead and show you my meat. I have about 3 to 3.5 pounds of beef here. I've trimmed the fat from it, so I let this marinate for about 4 hours in the fridge. And what it is a combination of green seasoning, and you can certainly find the link for green seasoning to watch the green seasoning video if you're not familiar with green seasoning, as well as a combination of other spices and herbs. So the meat has been marinating for about 4 hours in the green seasoning, and I use a combination of turmeric powder, curry powder, as well as a little bit of hot and spicy curry powder. So it's 1 tablespoon of the hot and spicy, 1 tablespoon of the regular curry, and a half of a teaspoon of the turmeric, along with 3 tablespoons of green seasoning. Alright, so let's check our sugar, and it looks like our sugar is starting to caramelize and get brown. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a stir. Okay, so it's getting there, nice and dark brown. Keep stirring. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn my pot down to about a medium there. You see how that's kind of bubbled up and caramelized a bit? That's exactly what you want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my meat into the pot here. You want to be careful because you don't want to burn yourself with the splash. Stir my beef so it can get well coated. As you can see that, how our beef is taking on that caramelization and just getting nice and brown for us. So I'm just going to continue to stir the beef and let this cook for about maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Now, any cut of beef that works well for this would be like beef stew. Today I'm using beef shank. You could also use a roast and cut it up into cubes, but those are just 3 of my favorites that I like to use when I'm doing the curry beef. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a cover. And like I said, just let that cook for about another 8 minutes. So I'm gonna let my beef cook for about 8 minutes on medium to medium low heat. And I'm just gonna have that covered, stirring occasionally. While my beef is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and chop up some vegetables. Today I'm gonna use 1 red bell pepper, about 4 celery stalks, 1 small purple onion, and I'm gonna go ahead and just chop those while my beef is cooking. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. Let's check our beef. So you can hear that sizzle going on. And this is how our beef looks. Nice and brown. Looks wonderful. Okay, so I have chopped up my vegetables, and I'm going to get those added in. So again, I have about 4 stalks of chopped celery, 1 red bell pepper, and 1 small purple onion, all diced up, going straight into our meat mixture. More veggies, the merrier. I also have decided to add carrots. I have 1 pound of carrot chips here, so I just rinse these off, and I'm going to just get those right in there as well. Start. Now I find that potatoes go really well with beef curry, so if you wanted to add potatoes in there, you certainly could do that, and that will taste wonderful. But because I'm going to be enjoying my beef curry with either fried plantains or rice, that is why I'm not adding potatoes today. So that's pretty well coated. I'm going to add a few more spices. So here I just have my curry powder. I'm going to add in 2 more tablespoons of my curry powder. So that's 2 additional tablespoons of the curry powder. I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of ginger. Now fresh ginger works well, but I don't happen to have fresh ginger at this time. I'm sure you guys know that, hey, with COVID-19 going on, I am just making my beef curry with what I have. I didn't make an extra trip to the grocery store, but I was craving this dish. But certainly if you have fresh ginger, use fresh ginger. But since I don't, powdered ginger works just as good. 1 teaspoon of powdered ginger. I'm going to add in a teaspoon of salt. Here I have just a little bit of beef bouillon, so I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of this. I'm going to give everything a stir. Just get those seasonings in there. I have 1 can of coconut milk, so I'm just going to get that open. So if you notice, this seems to be fairly well dried out. Notice that. So we did not have a lot of liquid left from the process of kind of just letting our beef cook. So now we get to add our liquids. So I have 2 cups of water, and I'm going to go ahead and turn my fire back up to high because I want to get this boiling. So I'm adding in 2 cups of water and 1 can of coconut milk. I'm just going to stir this all together. So after you've given it a stir, you just want to push your meat and your vegetables down and make sure everything is well submerged into your liquid. Okay, that looks pretty well submerged to me. So now I'm just going to cover that and turn it down to a medium low, and we're going to let this simmer for about 30 minutes. It's been about 30 minutes, so let's check our curry beef. Smells pretty good. Our liquid's cooking down. Carrots are there. Alright, so now I would recommend giving it a taste and adjusting your spices. So before I taste it, one of the things I'm going to do is check the tenderness of my beef here. I'm going to check a large piece because undoubtedly the large pieces take longer than the small pieces. My spoon is going through very, very easy, so what that tells me is my meat is nice and tender. It kind of just, with little effort, goes right through there. Alright, so I believe my beef is pretty tender. I'm going to go ahead and give this a taste, see what I think of my spices. Be sure you use a clean spoon. Very rich, very flavorful, but I'm going to add just a little bit extra here. And for me, I like my curry on the sweeter side, and because I use that pure coconut milk, I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons of sugar just to sweeten my sauce just a little bit. And another thing that I wanted to mention is that I'm also going to add a little bit of tomato bouillon, and that's because I did not have any fresh tomatoes. But if you have tomatoes and you like that tomato flavor, you can certainly put tomato in your curry. So this was a ½ teaspoon because I used my other one, my clean teaspoon, on the sugar. So I'm doing a total of 1 teaspoon of the bouillon there, just for a little bit of that tomato flavor. And if you had fresh tomato, again, you can certainly use that. I'm going to get that stirred right into my pot. And I'm going to go ahead and cover that back up and let it cook for another 20 minutes. And what I would also like to add here is that I am doing sugar because I happen to like my curry sweet. Not always, but this time I am in the mood for a sweeter curry. If you like your curry spicy, you can certainly feel free to use habanero or Scotch bonnet peppers. That's what is traditional. Excuse me. That's traditionally the type of pepper that is in curry, a Scotch bonnet or a habanero. But because I I have a little one and want my daughter to be able to enjoy this. I am leaving the Scotch bonnet out. All right, so we're gonna let this cook for about 20 more minutes, continue to simmer down and let our sauce thicken. We'll be back. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes and I'm pretty certain that our curry is done. It's a nice dark brown. Our sauce has thickened very well, almost like a gravy. You guys can see that. I'm just gonna give this a stir, toss everything. So I believe this is done. So it has reduced quite a bit. The beef is very tender to this touch. When I break it up, break a piece there with the spoon, and there we go. So, as I said before, rice is a great accompaniment, or fried plantains. I'm just gonna plate some of this up. Get right over my rice. Got just a little more gravy there. And there we have wonderful beef curry. So this is steaming hot. It's time for me to enjoy my dinner. I hope you enjoyed cooking with me today, making coconut curry beef. Check out www.theflavorfulgourmet.com, as well as give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you next time.